I'm 95, but no male on my mother's or father's side has ever made it to 90 except myself. Well, the best thing I can do is to tell you about rats. At the Mayo Clinic, this particular thing was in Boston, and they experimented by using rats that had exactly the same ancestors for thousands of generations. So they took 10 of them and 10 of them and fed them a good diet. Except that the ones that were on the left, say, were always hungry. They had a good diet, but not quite enough to satisfy them. The others had enough to eat of exactly the same diet. The hungry ones lived twice as long.
Donald Crowdis was born December 24, 1913 in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
He is one of the last living survivors of the Halifax explosion.
What happened was that as the explosion went up, air rushed in to fill the space, and so the house collapsed toward the explosion. And the end walls had to go somewhere, so they went sideways. And myself and my sister, a year and a half older, rode out on those walls as they landed in the vacant lot next door. I became very cautious. Therefore, I would spot opportunities as they came along, and that affected my whole life.
Donald Crowdis has spent his life helping find new ways to explore the world around us. From 1940 to 1965, he was curator, then director of the Nova Scotia Museum.
I certainly believe in exposing important things to the public. I think my work amongst the museums would come top. I put together the Canadian Museums Association. Very clever.
After World War II, he spearheaded an effort which led to the construction of the Halifax Memorial Library in 1951.
Which you might recognize as the Spring Garden Road Library.
A couple of librarians asked me to give them a hand in promoting a better setup for the library, which was in City Hall on kind of one wall. And I said, sure. And so I got very, very involved. And we lined up 24 different organizations who were in favor of a proper library for Halifax. And one thing led to another, and then you had the building, and I was the first chairman of the board, of course.
Donald Crowdis was the first host of the CBC television show, The Nature of Things.
I did radio in connection with school broadcasts. And then when television came along, I was a natural because I had stuff at the museum to bring and show on camera. My radio stuff had been called Things of Nature. And so when I came up to do the television, I turned it around and called it The Nature of Things. And it was successful.
Beginning in 1965, Mr. Crowdis was part of a team that started what is now the Ontario Science Centre.
I was invited to go to Ontario to do something about the Ontario Centennial Project. That turned out to be the Ontario Science Centre. It's geared to really everybody who's interested in scientific things. Displays and activities that try to make science related to modern life. You should go.
He currently writes a blog named Dawn to Earth Again, making him one of the world's oldest bloggers.
I had a chance to have my say again. Shoot my mouth off.
You can make a bubble that encases you.
Try to live your life so that you're never bored and you are useful, and you'll do all right.